to see what they thought of that last game.
Thank you, Doa. Now, with that win, LGD unfortunately can no longer make it out of groups. Very sorry, Spawn.
Unfortunately? Thank goodness for that. I do not want to see any more LGD games.
Spawn is completely off of the train. Completely off of the train.
But you have to see at least 2 more today.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
All right. Well, let's dissect this game. As painful as it might be for you, LGD leaving up the Mordekaiser, you would think they have some kind of plan. They bring the Anivia pick out. Is that it? Is that supposed to be the counter to Mordekaiser?
They had a plan. Was it a good plan? Like, I'm going to say no, but technically that team should have been allowed to scale. Like, they wanted a non-interactive map for like 30 minutes of that game where they warded up Dragon, were able to control vision, and then just had this amazing kite back comp with the Tristana, with the Anivia that you can never jump on because of Darius and Alistair, but did that happen? Definitely not.
Yeah, you shouldn't be sitting on your hands, though, when you have an Evelynn for your jungle. After the lane swap is done, you have a turret that top laners are in, and they're like, oh, there's dead turret, and you just get to walk around it and come in. It's so easy to flank on it. TBQ was playing as if he wasn't an invisible jungler.
Yeah, see, I'm going to disagree there. Evelynn, sure, play proactively. TBQ, please just stay near Godvi. Like, just hold his hand, walk around the map with either Godvi or PYL, do your job that way.
You mentioned the lane swap, Zyrene. I want to get into that because, Yamato, I know you have some opinions of it.
Of course.
So let's look at the way that this played out, because it seemed as though LGD was coming out ahead of the game here, given that Someday was put in a pretty awful position on the tail end.
For sure. Like, there was this one big decision that was completely wrong in this swap. We see this pretty standard in a way that, like KT, right here, Arrow is going to kill the tower in a way that the wave slow pushes towards him. Same thing is going to happen top lane. But the decision where KT go wrong is the decision to send Someday top lane. As I said, this lane is slow pushing towards the red side, which means he's going to be in a horrible position. The Eve is going to put pressure on him. This wave is where Someday should be, down bottom. We see Renekton now moving towards top lane. We see he's going to pass a few wards. Evelyn's going to approach this area, and he just knows he's screwed in this situation. Darius is going to take all this experience. We're going to see a scenario where Flame was level 6 and Someday was level 4, because Someday knows Evelyn's going to screw him over if he tries to CS. This is a big mistake, and this is pretty standard when it comes to the European lane swap, as people like to call it.
You know what's really crazy here, too, is this is actually a game that they have a TP on the Anivia, so you could also flank with the Anivia as well, because they had wards down the lane, and you could make plays off of that, but we didn't see proactiveness there.
I'm going to tell you something even crazier. There was a level 6 to a level 4, and they still lost the 3v3 fight. They gave up all 3 kills.
Well, surprisingly, Flame was playing really safe as a level 6 Darius against a level 4 Renekton in lane. It was a very odd situation, because they did seem to have set up the first 5 to 8 minutes, very well for themselves. And then things started to go haywire. Renekton got back into the game. We saw the Dragons get picked up by the Mordekaiser, and they were able to put a lot of pressure around the map that LGD just didn't seem like they were able to keep up with.
But even before that, PYL got caught out warding, and this is something that you were very critical on. PYL just wandering into River for no reason in the first 3 games. He did it again this game and gave up first blood to a Mordekaiser.
Actually, Arrow just walked around him and killed him. He didn't have wards down.
I want to come back to Yamato, though. Here.
It's very important to highlight the win condition of KT's composition. It's simply because they need to snowball their lanes and play out their lanes and just do the Dragon. That is the win condition. And the fact that they were behind in the top lane matchup was so detrimental for how they should have played out the game. But then that fight at Blue just sealed the deal for the entire game.
Yeah, that fight at Blue was actually kind of strange, because what happened was TBQ was standing in the brush at Blue Buff, and sorry, not TBQ. TBQ was standing there. Score was standing there. Sorry, Score was standing there, and he had the Wolf Spirit. And when Evelynn started walking by, because he had vision of his radius there, the Wolf Spirit actually targeted the Eve while she was in visibility, and he didn't actually have vision of her unless he had that. So it's just this certain this circumstance that allowed that to happen that really messed up TBQ in that play.
But if you actually look at the play, so go back, break it down. The wave had pushed up. TBQ was there to guarantee the freeze wouldn't happen in reverse. However, Godvi had been shoved into his turret. The right play is to pick Flame up and go back towards your bottom lane to start securing that Dragon objective. There is no reason for that shot call to even be made. You say it's circumstantial, but just give up the 2 waves of experience, secure your win condition back in the way of the Dragon, and make sure that snowball never starts. Instead, they try and invade on a side of the map where they don't have a pushing advantage, and it just goes horribly wrong.
This is the thing I want to look at. We've seen Mordekaiser get through a few times now. Each time has come away with the win. We have yet to see a team pressure the Dragon against a Mordekaiser and pick up the first couple, deny it from the Mordekaiser, and really slow down that push game. Why is that happening?
It's because of the experience advantage that Mordekaiser gives you. In the European lane swap, he has level 6 by the time your AD carry has about level 4.5, which just means that he can do it so much quicker around the 7.5 minute mark that you can't get the first one. And once the first one does happen, it just puts you so far behind. I'm expecting teams to come up with something crazy to really try and deny that first Dragon.
It's also important to highlight, like in the decision that they took KT by sending somebody in the top lane, it also favors Mordekaiser. He kind of becomes stronger because he's going to get that big wave that is slow pushing towards him. So, like, every problem got solved with this fight at the blue buff. Like, somebody just ended up ahead.
Well, at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, rather, KT starting off on the right foot. LGD, unfortunately, some dreams have been crushed. We have to take a quick break from the action, but when we return, it's NA versus Korea as TSM takes on KT Rolster. Stay with us.
My life is so beautiful.
And Flame in a 1v3, and even Lord Flame has to run from that one, gets a bit of a heal off the Q, but that's a double kill back as well.
Camping on the lantern.
In a lot of trouble. He got it on the lantern. I can't believe it.
He hooked him off the lantern. Communication.
To push Arrow away. Whoa! Mordekaiser takes him though, and Flame comes in just to die. That's a double. Score comes in with a barrel. Imp trying to carry, gets taken down by Someday, and that is going to be nearly an ace. LGD falls to 0-4 in the tournament. GG for KT.